BXB. It's in the game!
Hey guys, and welcome back to another one of my quick reviews, and this time I'm looking at something quite unique in many ways. Coming out this week we have The Council on Xbox One, PS4 and PC, and the version I've reviewed here is the Xbox version, predominantly played on the Xbox One X, but also checked out on the S to make sure it wasn't a steaming pile of poo, and it's not. You'll be thankful to know. Now, The Council is a narrative adventure game. So it's a little bit telltale-y, but with actually kind of like less action almost. And the main drive behind The Council is this sort of interesting dialogue system. But let me first set things up for you a little bit. You play as this character, Louis de Richet. This is set in the late 1700s in and about France and Europe, but, you know, you're French, but you're going to be doing some globe-trotting in this, though I think most of it's going to be set in this sort of mansion. At least the first episode is here, because what we've got with The Council is an episodic narrative adventure game, and this is just the first of 5 episodes, in which you're going to be making very important decisions to do with the life of Louis, which can result in permanent alterations to mind and body and probably soul as well, if we're going to get philosophical about it. And those things are brought about by this kind of complicated, somewhat bewildering sort of array of different conversation and sort of manipulation settings with a dash of RPG and sort of point-and-click adventure in there as well. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a different language of playing a video game. There's a lot of systems in here we maybe are not familiar with, to do with sort of manipulating and delving into the subjects you're talking to. It can be, especially in this first episode, it can be a little confusing understanding how things interact, and you are given a lot of information very, very quickly at the start of this game as it starts the tutorial, and I'll be showing that sort of stuff now. I've obviously had to be very careful with the footage I've chosen to show for this game, because the last thing you want is spoilers in a narrative adventure, i.e. the most important thing is the story. And you know what? I enjoyed the story, despite the fact that maybe how the character interaction works was a little bit bewildering for me, which I'm sure will become easier as subsequent episodes are released. Now, the basic concept is that you are this sort of member of a secret society, and you've gone to this special sort of like Brandenburg type group, secret kind of hideout party thing where this dude is hosting, and it's full of dignitaries and important people of the time, including people like Napoleon Bonaparte and George Washington, to name just 2 of them. And it's kind of all to do with how they interact and their political machinations, and and you're going to play this game in various ways, and like I said, you're going to be making lots of choices and deciding how your character is going to act in these situations. Now, you're kind of given 3 sort of specific choices of diplomat, occultist, or detective, in like the way you want to sort of, from the outset, sort of be perceived, and how you want to interact with those around you. But you're also going to be getting skills and leveling up in an RPG style mechanic, and giving yourself various sort of powers and abilities within those trees. And there's a lot going on here. I will say that I enjoyed the visual and auditory presentation of The Council. I liked the heavily stylized look of the characters, and I thought the voice acting was good, if not great. You can tell this isn't a AAA studio, this isn't The Last of Us, this isn't Naughty Dog, but I think the way the performances are given carry enough character and enough impetus to make you care and interested in the interactions that you're going to be predominantly doing in this game. And this game is not really a big action game. This is all about the conversations and the dialogues and the sort of machinations and the political chicanery that goes on in these types of high-powered group settings. And Louis is a bit of an outsider. He's kind of new to all of this, though his mother is a key player. And yeah, it's leaving me interested enough to want to come back for episode 2. Whether or not I review every episode or just come back with some new thoughts at the end, it's great to see a smaller studio, in this case Big Bad Wolf, teaming up with Focus Home Interactive, bringing to us this kind of narratively driven, somewhat experimental type game. You know, it is trying to do things differently. And if those systems do seem a little complex, look, just remember, they're going to get easier. It's going to make more sense as time goes along and as we get into episode 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we start to see the ramifications more of the choices you're making. Now, the question is, will it be Telltale-esque, you know, with that whole sort of starts off with a raft of choices but then forces you down into a narrow path at the end and really your choices didn't matter that much? Or are we going to see branching and lots of different outcomes for Louis and the characters around him? So right now I'm left feeling optimistic. I'm excited to see what comes next. So yeah, I'm going to give the Council a fair at this point, but I want to be bowled over. I want to bring this score up by the end, but I'm going to give it a safe, fair 3 out of 5 stars.
BXB. It's in the game.